Okay, so this experiment's going to demonstrate the capturing of atmospheric electricity. And this is a small electrostatic motor, and I came across this motor in the book Homemade Lightning. And it showed a motor design from 1924, Popular Electrics. And it looked so simple, and I thought, could it really be that simple, folks? So I decided to do a test, and what I've got here is I've got this side will come over here to this 28 gauge copper wire. I'm going to run that up in the air in the hexacopter. And this side over here is grounded. And I'll provide links at laserhacker.com and in the description of this video so you can learn about this. Go to Wikipedia and read up on atmospheric electricity. There's more to it than first meets the eye. It's not just from the wind creating a static effect on the wire. This is really quite the effect. And there's been some patents in the past from Germans and others claiming, you know, up to 1,000 watts of useful power. And I really want to get into researching some of this. Now, there's obvious dangers involved in this kind of thing. Anytime you run up a copper wire into the sky, you've got a Benjamin Franklin type situation going on. So there's obvious dangers, and all the precautions and proper training should be utilized in doing an experiment like this. Okay, so we've got the hexacopter up there in the air, and it's only up in the air about 100 feet. And coming down here to the atmospheric electricity motor, you can see that it's rotating. All right, so that's the motor, just as printed in Popular Electrics from 1924. And it said this contrivance would amuse the young electrician, and I'm telling you, it's doing its job, folks. I am more than amused by this. And it actually is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, so. Very, very cool. So very simple. We've got one side grounded on the copper rod. We got the little electrostatic motor, and this side going up about 100 feet to the hexacopter. Okay, I want to give a quick book review on 3 books that I picked up from Amazon. You can buy these 3 books in a set for $50. The first book is Electrostatic Motors by Oleg Jefemenko. Now, I've read some of this guy's work scattered around the internet, but I went ahead and bought the book so I could get all of the work in one place, and I'm really glad I did. This is a treasure trove of information on electrostatic motors as well as atmospheric electricity. You can see there's a lot of cool diagrams, a lot of cool drawings, motors. This motor here generated 0.1 horsepower, which for an electrostatic motor is actually quite a lot of power. And he goes on to say that this motor operates from a 6,000 volt power supply as well as from an earth field antenna. On the next page, he shows this little motor here that they were able to operate from a 20-foot pole. It said they tried to do it in front of the physics building, West Virginia University, and in front of the building it would not run there, but out in the parking lot it ran very well. So to run a motor like that on a 20-foot pole is really quite the accomplishment. Let me just go ahead and flip through some of this book. You can see that it's just got pretty much every electrostatic motor ever created documented in this book. And toward the end, he goes into some more information on atmospheric electricity. You can see the antenna here and the motor and the ground. Very interesting stuff. There's even a section in the back on how to build your own motors here. And I think this is some excerpts out of a Popular Science or Popular Mechanics. But just really interesting information. I'll just share a couple of things here from the very back. He has a section on the Earth's electric field. And he says here the near ground or the fair weather electric field is on average 120 volts per meter. This means that if one erects a 10-meter high earth field antenna, one attains a voltage of 1,200 volts between the tip of the antenna and the ground. Very fascinating stuff. So that's the first book. Okay, so I just want to show you A.D. Moore's Electrostatics. This is the second book in this set. I've yet to read this book, but this book is a treasure trove of information. Very thorough, very well documented, all in high voltage electrostatics. Now the third one that I've been having a lot of fun going over is this book called Homemade Lightning by R.A. Ford. This book is full of cool stuff. And this book actually had the diagram that I wanted to build up on this very simple static motor with the aerial antenna that you just saw in the video. But this book has a lot of interesting stuff, and I was really surprised to see that it has a section in it that possibly could have connections to the Capanandes devices and some stuff I'd like to try with the drill ringer crossover circuit between grounding and picking up earth currents. So these three books make a treasure trove of information on electrostatics, high voltage, atmospheric electricity, etc. So just wanted to share that with you all. It's a great resource for information. Now I want to show you where some of this information, some of this technology could go. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm excited about this really small electrostatic motor, let me just show you that there could be a whole lot more to this aerial electricity than first meets the eye. This is a really cool website. It's rexresearch.com. And I've done a lot of reading at this website over the years, and he's got a lot of information compiled here on atmospheric electricity. And he's broken down by different inventors and their work, etc. And just wanted to share that website. I'll put links to this website and some of the relevant articles at laserhacker.com. So check this video description for links to all that stuff. But here he's got just this one section is a great example of the quality information you can get here at his website. This is from Science and Invention, February 1922. And it's some information on what they were doing in Germany with aerial antennas and balloons. And the part that I just wanted to share here is where it says the amount of electrical power that resides in the atmosphere is outstanding. These guys went out and they sent up a single balloon to 300 yards, and they got a constant current, 400 volts at 1.8 amps. Folks, that's a lot of energy. It says by using two balloons in connection with a special condenser battery, the power obtained was 81 kilowatts in 24 hours. The actual current delivered was 6.8 amps at 500 volts. So we're talking about some serious amounts of energy, and very, very fascinating. So I will just go and show a few other spots, a few other things from this website that are interesting. Okay, so if you do check out this website, be sure to read the story about Roy J. Myers. In 1912, this guy invented some antenna aerial atmospheric electricity receiving equipment. And I read this a couple years ago, and I was just amazed. I've always wanted to try to replicate it and figure out what this guy was doing. But you got access here to all the patents and everything, so definitely check his work out. Very, very interesting. This guy was a prisoner, and he really invented all this stuff while he was in prison. So really interesting, fascinating story. Definitely check him out. Okay, there's also this, and you can see here on the antenna that this is a bunch of thin wire spikes, and it's probably to help the corona discharge. But this one, it says the apparatus in the photo produced 300 watts with a collector 2 meters tall. So a lot of times, folks, it's good to go back, look at what's been done before, and replicate that stuff. Because if I could get 300 watts with a 2 meter tall antenna, that would just be phenomenal. And whether or not I get there, it's a lot of fun experimenting and learning. You sure learn a lot. So check out the links I'm going to include at laserhacker.com. I'll put links to Rex Research and to the appropriate articles that you see here. Very fascinating stuff. And of course, a lot of this stuff reminds us of probably the most well-known in this field, and that would be Thomas Henry Moray. And of course, he's got a lot of information here on that as well. So this could be more than just a small motor rotating in a plastic cup. I mean, we could maybe tap into some serious amounts of practical electricity here. And if you follow along in my videos, you know I'm very interested in how to make these things practical. How can these things actually be made useful and put into use? So anyway, that's what I'm up to in all this, folks. Just thought I'd share, and let's all keep experimenting.